Hello everyone and welcome to another one of my videos. You know what? Happy Valentine's Day. It is Valentine's Day. Unfortunately, my Valentine had to work today. He's taking me out for a nice fancy dinner. He's been my Valentine for the past 24 years and I love my husband so much. He's like my best friend. I have to share this because I picked this one up for Valentine's Day and this is what I plan to read later tonight too. A Curse of Shadows and Ice by Catherine Mara. This one's kind of like a Beauty and the Beast retelling, and I absolutely love Beauty and the Beast. I even cosplayed as her for a competition. I won third place in that because I sewed everything myself. In this one, it seems like you've got this guy and his entire kingdom that are cursed. She that has the ability to break the curse, but she's forced into this marriage. So far, she hasn't seen his face or anything like that, so I don't necessarily know what he looks like. But yeah, he's cursed. His kingdom's cursed. It's just so far it's building up to be a really, really good book. I'm not super far into it. Oh man, I'm already hooked. I just really wanted to share this because if anybody wanted to read something cute and kind of, you know, Valentine's Day themey-ish in a way, if they love Beauty and the Beast retellings, then you should pick this up. But anyways, that's not what today's video is about. Seeing as how it is Valentine's Day, it's all about the love and the romance and the sweetness. I wanted to talk about my top 10 favorite couples. And these don't always necessarily coincide with like my book boyfriends or the FMCs that I would consider my friends if they were really alive. Some of these might even be from books that maybe some of you guys haven't even heard of. They're quite old, but they're my top favorite couples. I'm going to share why. Also, just to kind of help you guys, because I don't want to give people spoilers, I'm going to name the book that I'm going to be talking about that the couple's from. And if it's not a series that you have read, I will have a timestamp down below as well so that you can skip to that timestamp so that you're avoiding spoilers for that book. These are in no particular order. These are just my top 10. So first we're going to be talking about Fourth Wing. I absolutely love Xaden and Violet together. I think that they complement each other so well. They've definitely had some push and pull that was like, are they going to, are they not going to? I personally never really felt the enemies to the enemies and lovers scenario between the two of them. Even when she was doubtful about his intentions towards her, whether he was going to kill her or wanted to kill her, you could just feel the tension and the love between them. I mean, they're like fireworks, and he has proven multiple times in multiple scenarios that he would go to the ends of the earth for Violet, would give his soul literally for her. He's so defensive of her, but at the same time, he has this great balance between them because she's more fragile. She was sick when she was younger. She's got this innocence about her, this fragileness. He doesn't treat her with kid gloves. He wants to protect her. He wants to help her, but in a way that's helping her with her goals, believing in her, wanting to be the sword for her. He's always pushing her and striving for her to be better. He doesn't look at her like she's broken or weak or incapable of being a dragon rider. He's always treated her as an equal. He's always treated her like she is strong. I believe a lot of the confidence that Violet has now, yeah, some of it she got from her dragons, I'm not gonna lie, but a lot of it came from Xaden and his just unwavering belief in her. And it wasn't just a something where like he had to constantly talk to her about it, constantly say, hey, you're enough. It wasn't like that. It's just his confidence, how he treated her, how he talked to her, how they interacted. It was an automatic response from him that just automatically made her feel more empowering. I believe too that Violet helps with Xaden because she helps him open up more, to be less guarded, to know that it's okay to lean on somebody, that you don't have to bear the weight on your own, that somebody can be there for you and work together. She has given him hope again. And although right now at the end of Onyx Storm, things are just, you know, they're obviously married, but she has no clue where he's at. I'm a little bummed about that. Like, you know, when they did finally decide to get married, I wish it could have been done for different reasons. It's crazy that the author did that to everybody and then just, I don't know when there's going to be another book. So we just have to wait. Their relationship is kind of up in the air, even though they're married, but it's Xaden. Everybody loves Xaden. If the author, if Rebecca Yarros at this point killed off Xaden, I think there would be a worldwide mutiny. There's so much love for Xaden out there, I'm rooting for the guy too because he deserves his happily ever after. Next we have Wild Bond, which is interesting because this is a book series, but it's only got one book about Ren and Rake. The second book is about a different couple. I love Ren and Rake. Their relationship was just beautiful. It kind of reminds me a lot of Fourth Wing in a way, only Ren is way different than Violet. She didn't have a family. She was raised in the slum. She had a really hard life. She had to learn how to fight, to steal, and that ends up leading her in prison. And then she gets this chance to petition for a second chance at her life. And then just as she's trying to petition this, she ends up bonding with a dragon. And of course, in this world, dragon riders are like the army. It's a very sacred thing. And so they respect all dragon riders, no matter that she was a criminal. Then there's this whole dynamic between Ren and Rake that's they're just so back and forth. He's trying to protect her because nobody really wants to take her serious because she was a criminal. The love between Ren and Rake is just so deep and so awe-inspiring. Like, he's been alone his whole life. He's only half part of the country. His father came from another country and he wasn't a nice man. Both Rake and Ren have had tough lives and have had very little love. They're coming together to learn what love means together. I think I love them so much because in a way they remind me of me and my husband. Like, he comes from a broken family. I come from a broken family. When we got together, it was scary. We were still young. We were still in high school. What did we know of love other than what our families taught us, which was nothing good? But we took the leap of faith. We realized that we were meant to be together and we have built our life together. We've learned as we went. And it just reminds me a lot of Ren and Rake. They are a real type of broken love. It's just absolutely beautiful. I mean, granted, they had their hiccups here and there because Rake and his dragon were the ones that arrested her and why she ended up in prison for like a year where she was starved and beat. And then she's got this like burn on her arm from his dragon. For the longest time, she saw him as this ultimate bad guy, but she's learning this new side of him and they're learning to get past these doubts that they had. There for a while, he was trying to do the whole, I'm the commander and I shouldn't be in a relationship with you. I've got all of this stuff going on. She almost dies. And then he's like, never mind. We're doing this. It's just so sweet, their love story. It's just, makes my heart melt. And because we seem to be on the trek for dragon riding, I want to talk about Flameborn Chosen. It's part of a series. It's about Bren and Donovan. I absolutely love Donovan. I love Bren and Donovan together. Bren has been through some heart-wrenching things. Now, if you guys have watched any of my reading vlogs, my 24-hour challenges, I have talked about these books. I have bawled on camera. Bren's story is one of the most heart-wrenching stories that I have ever read. The things she's been through were absolutely horrible, and I feel so bad for her. Donovan has been so patient with her, and he's had to be. She's so skittish. It's one of those situations where he raises his hand and she's like flinching. Oh, it's so heart-wrenching, but he has been so kind. He hasn't pushed her. He hasn't forced her to do beyond what she's capable of doing, but at the same time, he's able to also help her with the confidence to know that she can do these things, lets her know that he's there for her. And he just slowly is helping her build into her self-esteem. She went from this timid girl who didn't even want to live, who like literally tried to kill herself, into an actual woman that believes that she can be a kick-ass dragon rider and own the skies during battle, during war. She's changed so much, and a huge part of that has been thanks to Donovan, and he's really helped build her confidence in herself. For him, it was never about trying to get her to trust him. It was about getting her to trust herself. He saw that. As much as he cared for her, he knew that she needed to do these steps. He thought of her first. For Bren, she's always very supportive of him, caring about his goals in life and wanting to be a support for him as well. So they've just been this great support for each other, and their love story is just absolutely beautiful. And I cannot wait to get into more of the books because let me tell you, at the ending of the second book, it was like, what? Holy crap. Next, we have the Throne of Glass. Okay, Selena and Rowan. Oh my gosh, these guys threw me for a loop, let me tell you. First off, I was thinking that she was going to be with somebody else. You don't even meet Rowan until book 3. And in book 3, I hated him. He was so mean to her. And I get it. Granted, he didn't know what she was going through and she wasn't sharing that. But oh my gosh, the start of their relationship was so interesting and so fascinating. I don't think that I had really read a FMC and an MMC and the start of their relationship in such a way before. I like Sarah J. Maas just hardcore. It was incredible. Rowan is like all of this strength and you're my queen. And Selena's all like, I'm badass. I'm an assassin. I've killed people for a living. But she's also got this vulnerability that she shares just with Rowan. Like it's like he sees sides of her that nobody else does. It's one of those types of relationships where she can express her feelings, like not actually talk about them, but she can like feel something. And Rowan can literally feel what she's feeling. When she got taken later on in the series, Rowan went, oh my gosh, you guys, he went through heaven and hell to get her back. She was so majorly broken when he finally got her back. His understanding and his caring and knowing that she needed this distance, he was so respectful of that. He was so amazing. He was so kind, so caring. He always believed in her strength and always believed in her abilities. Even when she'd kept secrets from him, he always trusted her. He always knew, like he never doubted her. Even when she gave him reasons to, he had this unwielding devotion and trust in her. And she had the same for him. Yes, there was love and there was smoke and fire in their relationship, but there was this trust between the two of them that was just like iron tight. Normally in books that I read, main characters do less than, like they practically do nothing to each other. And it's all like, oh, I can't trust you anymore. And then 3 books go by and I still can't trust you anymore. But it was like, that wasn't the case with these two. Rowan just accepted. He's just like, okay, this is what my queen did. Well, let's deal with it. Let's do what we need to do. He went with her plans. I mean, he deviated sometimes, which, you know, we're all glad that he did. If you've read the Throne of Glass series, romance was so touching and Also, what I loved about their story is towards the end, everything felt like it was ending, that there was no hope, no way they're going to survive. Rowan was just this unbeatable force, this calmness in the storm. Honestly, she needed that strength, and he helped her to stop fighting who she was. Gosh, their love story was amazing. Going into that, we also have the ACOTAR series. Hello, yes, also by Sarah J. Maas. You have Feyre and Resend. Yes, Rhys. Resend. Oh my gosh, I love these guys. You know what? Honestly, I want to do a reread because Resend wasn't the main character in book 1. You're not even led to believe that those two end up together in the series. When she had her first interactions with him in the beginning of the series, I didn't put much thought into his character. He made this appearance. I was just like, okay, whatever. And then they kind of started hinting him at being the bad guy of the story. So I was like, okay, so maybe they're building up the villain. I kind of want to now do a reread of the series, knowing what I know now, so that I can immerse myself in more of the beginning interactions of the two of them. But oh my gosh, I love the two of them together. Again, this is another MMC who is just so supportive and so caring, but at the same time, not a coddler. He's not an enabler. He does what's necessary. He is willing to do what he needs to do, even sacrificing his own heart in order for her to survive, in order for her to be okay, to not be broken anymore. Like, he's willing to accept whatever it is that she is capable of giving. He wasn't trying to lock her up, throw away the key, and not let her do anything. Like, he was putting her in dangerous situations as well. Utter confidence that she was going to be okay. He had so much faith in her, way more faith in her than she had in herself. She was able to overcome so much and do so much because she had Resend in her corner, helping her and pushing her when she needed to be pushed. He wasn't afraid to push back. He didn't handle her with kid gloves. He's also been through a lot. And I think in a way that kind of helped him because he also had friends that had had hard times. So he's learned to kind of handle those situations. Considering who Freyro was to him, I was amazed. Genuinely, I was. He had all of the touch her and die vibes, but it wasn't like suffocating, overdone. It didn't make you cringe. He didn't have crazy, stupid nicknames for her. It's just a very, we're a team, we're a partnership, we work together sort of relationship. It was absolutely beautiful. Next is the Death Before Dragons series, and let me tell you guys, it wouldn't be one of my videos if I wasn't talking about Death Before Dragons. What's up?
I'm gonna Happy Valentine's Day bomb you.
You don't want me to wait until we do like Fortnite or something?
Whatever you choose to do, my sexy lady.
Okay. Oh, my sweetheart. Okay, anyways, Death Before Dragons. It wouldn't be one of my videos if I didn't talk about Val and Zav because I love their relationship. She is very spunky. She's very opinionated. She has no filters. Whatever is in her head is what she's saying out loud. At one point, Zav even told her that he didn't need to read her mind because he's like, I have this feeling that you have a tendency to say whatever it is you're thinking anyways. And she's like, you know me so well. She gets herself in so much trouble just with her mouth alone. She even admits it. She's like, someone will say something ashes and she's just, I know diplomatically I shouldn't be letting this get to me. However, she's just opening her mouth, being snarky. You know what? It takes quite the man, or in this case, dragon, to be in a relationship with her, and they are so perfect for each other. He is very arrogant. He's like, I am dragon. I'm superior being. Everything else bows down to me. And she's just like, yeah, have fun with that. She's always being so disrespectful of him, but he loves it. And later on, he even tells her, he's like, I love that you're not afraid to say whatever it is that you want to say. So she's always snarky and she's always laughing and she's always confusing him because Zav doesn't necessarily understand human languages. So like one time she was being snarky to this dragon, right? And she tells him, she's like, kiss my ass. And he gives her this look and he's like, dragons don't procreate with humans. And she's just like, okay. And then like a while later, she's like thinking in her head, I really need to stop saying things that involving his ass because he's going to start thinking I have a fetish. But they just fit together so well. I think some of it is that her humor and her banter and her like rantings just kind of go over Zav's head. He likes that she is this quirky. Like he even tells her that one of the things that turns him on is the fact that she vexes his enemies. They'll be joking around and he'll be like, I don't know why I put up with you. And she looks at him and she's like, because I vex your enemies. And he's like, oh yeah. But they're so quirky. Again, like you've got this dragon. He's got all these powers and he's very strong. And so obviously he could squash her like a bug, right? It's not that she's more powerful than he is, which honestly, in a lot of fantasy romance books, it usually ends up with the FMC being much stronger than the MMC. And the MMC is just doing a support role where he's like, rah, 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 cheerleader, you've got this. I'm here for you. I'll help you. This one is just very much, he's definitely the superior being, but yet he also still sees her strength. Not because she is stronger than him, but he sees her own personal inner strength for who she is. Even though he worries sometimes that his life is going to get her killed, he also understands that she can handle it and he helps train her. So this is very much I am stronger than you, girl, but I know that you've got your own strengths and I know you can handle whatever comes our way. We're meant to be together. Oh, their banter. Every time I read this series, I am laughing my ass off. It's just that good. I don't know how many times I have to say this in a video. If you guys have not read the Death Before Dragons series, honestly, give it a try. I love the audiobook. It's really good. And then we have Kate Daniels and Curran. Oh my gosh. We've got the Magic series. Again, another series I talk about all the time. It's Curran and Kate Daniels, and those two are fire. She meets Curran in book 1, and you could kind of feel the chemistry between them. I mean, literally, he's a lion shifter. And the first time she sees Curran, he's in his lion form, and she kind of just looks at him. She's like, here, kitty, kitty, kitty. to the lion shifter, and not just a lion shifter, he's like the king of shifters. He's top dog. And she's like, here, kitty, kitty, kitty. And again, she's got that same kind of snarkiness that Val has. Kate kind of has a death wish too. Granted, she's hiding from her all-powerful daddy because if he ever finds out about her, she dies. She's been training. She solves mysteries. Curran kind of ends up helping her in some of her cases, and that's kind of how they get involved. It's kind of like a slow burn. There is, I think, oh my goodness, there has to be like 7 or 8 books in this series. And I'm trying to remember when her and Curran actually officially become a thing. But I'm wanting to think it's like somewhere in book 3 or book 4. Until then, it's kind of a slow burn. Like they kind of banter back and forth. You can feel the heat between them, yet she's still off doing her own thing. She's not with Curran all the time, right? They're doing their separate things. It's such a good series. And the way that they court each other, oh man, like, and she doesn't understand the shifter ways, and so he's trying to court her as a shifter would. There's like points where he's feeding her food and one of the shifters walks in and they see this and they're like, and then they're leaving and she's just like, what? I'm hurt. I can't feed myself, right? But apparently it's a huge sign when when a male shifter, I can't remember if it's just the male shifter or if it's all shifters, but when a shifter feeds somebody else, it's like a sign of something. So you have to be careful. They get married and it's just... Again, the romance between them is just incredible. And she goes through these trials because, he's the shifter king and she's human, but she's also magical. There's obviously shifters that don't think she belongs as their shifter queen because she's not a shifter. She definitely has trials that she has to go through. Her and Curran, again, they have that same kind of back and forth that Zav and Val do. The only difference is that Curran can push back more because he actually understands the language. Also, at the same time, Curran is so protective of Kate Daniels, and he just gets so frustrated because she's always putting herself into danger, and he's just like lost his whole family. He's got a very tragic backstory, so all he wants to do is just snuggle her up to him and then like go hide out in the woods somewhere and like never deal with anybody ever. Just them and nothing else. He's like the most romantic guy ever. That's why Curran is my #1 book boyfriend still to this day. Like he literally, at one point, he looks at Kate and he's like, the reason why I am the shifter king, the reason why I built this empire, the reason why I have myself surrounded by so many people, it was for you. I knew that someday I was going to meet my mate. I wanted to be able to protect her at all cost. I did all of this for you. He's like, if you don't want it, that's fine. We'll leave. Years upon years worth of work and strategy and fighting to get himself to the top. And he's just willing to just... away it goes to be with her. And the mouth on Curran, you guys, he, so romantic. Yes. When Kate Daniels uses her powers and Curran just gets this look on his face like, yeah, baby. Just like, Okay, next you have Red Winter by Annette Marie, and this was my first introduction book series by this author. In this series, you have Emmy and Shiro. Shiro is a fox yokai who actually ends up being so much more than just that. I love their story. Their story is just, it's surrounded in this epic almost kind of sadness in a way. She is destined to die. Emmy's been training her whole life to become the vessel for one of these goddesses. Over the years, the goddess, in order to prepare Emmy's body to take the transition, the goddess has been giving some of her powers to Emmy. As Emmy gets older and she meets Shiro, the yokai, she starts to realize she was lied to her whole life. She didn't think she was going to die. She didn't think she was going to lose her consciousness. And so she rebels against everything and she runs away and she saves this fox who ends up being transforming into a fox yokai. They go on this epic journey to try to save herself, but also on this quest to save all of these people. Her and Shiro start falling for each other. It's definitely very, I would say, YA style. I mean, it doesn't have any spice or anything in it, which for Annette Marie's if you've read any of her books, you know she can get quite spicy in her series. But honestly, I was happy for that. It really focused on just the romance and the friendship building. And they started out as kind of hesitant, liking, like she was raised to believe that yokai were these evil beings and that her best friend was killed by the yokai. So she didn't want to trust the yokai. But at the same time, she had this sense to want to help him too. He feels like he owes her like a life debt for saving him. He was cursed to be a fox, and come to find out, because she has some of the powers of the goddess, she was able to break some of that curse on him. And it's like he has like 3 beads on his wrist. She had taken one off, which caused him to shift from his little fox form to his human-ish form. He was like a human, but he's got like a white bushy tail and pointy ears. And so then he's determined to keep her around because she can take off the rest of his curse, because he doesn't have many memories of his life and who he is because he was cursed. But the thing is that she doesn't have so much of a handle on her powers, so she tries to take another set of beads off, and then like both almost die. He's trying to help her with her powers, trying to help her survive, trying to figure out a way around her fate. And then amongst all that, they meet other people, fall in love, and he's just it's a very subtle romance. It isn't like in your face sort of romance, but there are these moments like when they're fighting and she gets hurt or almost gets hurt and he just goes crazy. It's really hard to explain, but the moments between the two of them are just epically amazing. The romance between the two of them they'll rot your teeth. It's so sweet. Come to find out, he's lived a really, really long time. He has watched so many people he loves die, and it's kind of hardened him and kind of turned him into a heartless person. As he starts getting his memories back, he starts remembering these things, right? Like in the beginning, he's very kind of open and doesn't hide his feelings and things like that because he doesn't really remember all of that loss. But then as he starts getting more and more of his memories back, he tries to close off, but by then she's just so ingrained into his heart and into his soul. And so then it turns into more of I'm gonna save this woman. She's mine and I don't want to lose her. And even if we only have so long together, then so be it. They just, and it ends up working out. She ends up, they live happily ever after in the sunset, and the two of them are absolutely, I've read this series like 5 times, you guys. It's that good. Okay, then we have Reborn, which is the Shadow Beast series. You've got Mayra and Shadow Beast. He always calls her Sunshine, and he's Shadow, so she kind of ends up giving them this nickname, Shadow Shine. I love it. He originally hated it, but it grew on him. This definitely kind of has a bit of enemies to lovers. There is instant chemistry between the two of them. He's been very focused. He has had one goal that he's been trying to figure out. He sees her as a means to complete that. It starts out with him being very demanding. You will do this, you will do that. He takes her away to his realm area and where she's pretty much his prisoner, but yet at the same time not, because she gets to walk around and talk with other beings from other realms, and she has her own room and clothing, and every once in a while she just has to go with him to capture shadows. Oh, I loved the romance between them. There was never a dull moment. There was never this, I trust you, I don't trust you. I trust you, but I don't trust you. I trust you, but I don't trust you. There wasn't these scenes where he does something and then she hates him again, or she does something and then he hates her. And there was none of that back and forth. Definitely had a slow burn, but then once it locked in, it was locked in. This series had plenty of spice, a lot of sugar. The two of them together they're just beautiful. Their strength together was amazing. She was his heart. He had no feeling. He was just walking through life, not caring about anything. And then she came along and it was like suddenly his heart just started beating again for like the first time ever. He was experiencing all these different things. So he's trying to communicate with her and trying to do things for her that she doesn't necessarily understand because he doesn't remember what it means to be alive, to love, to feel. He still has all of his shadow beast mentality, touch her and die vibes. Sometimes their communication stinks, doesn't necessarily know how to communicate the best. So they definitely had their problems. There's all these little moments that just felt so big because you could just see the agony that the shadow beast was going through. And then you would see just little nuggets that would happen in the story with Mira in the beginning. If she tried to touch him, he would have this like shadow barrier that would instantly repel her. And then just one time randomly, they're talking and she touches his arm and she realizes that she didn't get repelled, that she wasn't tossed away, that she was able to touch him. They didn't make a big deal about it. In reality, it was a huge deal because that meant the shadow beast was trusting her. He was changing and he was growing. It was just beautiful. Then you have the Guild Codex Demonized. First book is Taming Demons. I absolutely loved the romance between Robin, Paige, and Zalis. Robin and Zalis. Ooh. Robin ends up saving a demon's life. Her evil uncle was trying to force a contract with him, and in order to save her own life and to save his life, they end up striking a bargain together. However, because she had never made a contract with a demon before, the only contract that they had was that he would protect her and she would feed him baked goods. There was nothing else in the contract. And apparently in this world, there are lots of people that can tame demons. That's kind of their skill. The demons are just like mindless robots that just do what they're told and then they leave. He's definitely not that way because of the way she contracted him. He's completely coherent, has his own mind, his own way of thinking, and he can pretty much do whatever he wants as long as he doesn't let her die. Their relationship is just so amazing. He listens to her and respects her because she listens to him and respects him. They end up going on all of these missions. There's these mysteries surrounding her mother and demons from his family. They kind of work together to try to figure out these mysteries and also to find a way to get him back home to his realm because she promises to help him do that. I just loved their romance. Again, very subtle. Okay, it wasn't enemies to lovers. It was just kind of forced proximity, I guess, in a way. You know, they had to work together and then it kind of just led into more. They just build this mutual trust. I loved how Robin isn't this strong, powerful person. She can't fight worth anything. Zalis, because he's so worried about her and begins to really fall for her, tries to train her to fight, which never works out because she is just like soft marshmallow, and every single time he tries, it never works out. You don't have to fight stronger, you just have to fight smarter. He always called her, what was it, like Octalis? Oh, my husband would know. It was a demon terminology, and it's gonna drive me nuts because my husband listened to this series too, but it basically what it boiled down to is easy prey. That was his like nickname for her, but it was in like a different language. He always had these cute sayings for her, but they were said in a different, in his demonic language, and it just made it sound so sweet, you know. And then he didn't have one nickname for her throughout the entire series. As his feelings for her grew and changed, so too did his nicknames. I loved the dynamic between her being a human and him being a demon, and him seeing the world one way and her seeing the world another way, and then coming together to find this middle common ground between their beliefs of the world. Like they're basically making up their own rules to the world and how they were going to interact with the world. At the same time, her trying to be careful because the contract she had made with him was very illegal. So there was several times where he had to pretend to be a mindless demon in order to keep her safe. And then later on, she learns this whole keeping her safe contract was actually very broad. And so everything that he was doing for her, he was actually doing because he himself cared about her. It had nothing to do with the contract or anything. He cared about her, and she ended up meaning a ton to him. And then towards the end, he had the chance to go home and be with his family, and he chose to stay. Even though that he was a demon, even though she was a human and she was going to grow old and die, he chose to stay with her, see the world with her, just live their lives together for as long as they possibly could. I mean, it was kind of bittersweet. I mean, most times in books like these, the woman woman finds a way to become immortal, or the man finds a way to become immortal so that they can live together forever. Wasn't the case in this series. And I don't know, like, it's kind of sad, but at the same time, bittersweet and beautiful. They couldn't overcome this hurdle. They accepted it and chose to love and be together for as long as they could. And it was just so beautiful. Then we have Quicksilver. Oh boy, if you guys have been watching any of my videos, you will know that I absolutely love Quicksilver. It was my first 5-star read of 2025, and I love Cyrus and Kingfisher, and I love them together. They had a very rocky start in the beginning. She definitely didn't always like him, especially when he forced her to do things. She slowly breaks into his defenses. It's definitely not a relationship that was an easy beginning. She definitely had to get through all of his defenses. She did it in such a amazing way and a quirky way, never straightforward, right? She just kind of slowly leaked in there. I think it was even a shock to her how she ended up feeling about him, considering everything that he had put her through in the beginning of Quicksilver. In Brimstone, that's really where you see the beauty of their relationship, how far they have come and how close they have become despite all these obstacles. Like, things just keep piling up in their relationship over and over and over, and yet they still are together. They still find hope in their relationship, and I think that's what I love the most about the two of them. They have so much weight on their relationships. You know, they're destined to fail, they're destined for heartbreak, and yet they are just so epically beautiful together. Yeah, we may be doomed, but we're gonna live our lives together for as long as we have. It's just very bittersweet and very hopeful, and it just makes you feel love really does conquer everything. You know, even when you feel like the odds are stacked against you, love can still prevail. They're so different personality-wise, but somehow they come together. It's just, their story is so beautiful. If you have not read Quicksilver and book 2, which is Brimstone, you should definitely pick them up and give them a try. I am so looking forward to seeing how their romance progresses in book 3, because oh boy, the information dump that we got at the end of Brimstone had you going, what? And you know, things just keep happening to this couple, like, repeatedly over and over and over again. You're just like, how much more can this couple take? Every challenge doesn't break their relationship down like it does in so many books. It builds them up, it makes them stronger, and that's something that I love. It's refreshing. It's not something that, you know, you're reading and something happens and you're like, great, now they're gonna break up. Spend the next 10 pages with them hating on each other and finding a way to try to get them back together just for them to break up again. Oh, how do I put it? It's not because of the characters just not wanting to like each other. It's just circumstances around them that just make it seem like living is going to be impossible. But against all odds, their love is prevailing, and they're just sitting there basically hugging each other in a giant tornado. And as things keep knocking into them, it's getting repelled by the love that they have for each other. And it's just absolutely beautiful. And so I hope you guys enjoyed this romantic couple video. Let me know down in the comments below if you have like an all-time favorite romance couple. Like, every single time you read the book or the book series, it just makes your heart like melt. Like, you think about them all the time. I'm genuinely curious, and maybe it's a book series that I haven't read that it might be something worth giving a try. So I hope everybody had a fantastic Valentine's Day. I am gonna go and I'm gonna enjoy my Valentine's Day, cuddle up with my family. I hope everybody has a fantastic week, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.